back and welcome to another movie reviews video. I will be talking about films other than Marvel films this week, but I have watched two more Marvel films which I will talk about at the end of this video because they weren't actually in the cinema. So I want to talk about three films that I saw in the cinema and then those two Marvel films. Timestamps will be linked below, and remember, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that my next movie review video next Sunday lands straight in your subscription feed, and also all of my book videos land in your subscription feed. I'm currently uploading on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday unless anything special happens, and if you miss me on a Tuesday or a Thursday, generally I will be doing either a live show or an IGTV video then. So if you still want to hear me talking about books and other things, then make sure you're subscribed to my Instagram. All my social media links and everything is linked below in that description box. So whilst I was back in the UK, I saw one film in the cinema. I thought I might end up going to the cinema more than once, but I only ended up going once, and it was a rewatch for me because I went with my friend and I went to see Mamma Mia 2 again. Mamma Mia, here we go again. Again. I did cry slightly less this time. I think I cried a total of 5 times when I watched Mamma Mia 2 for the first time. I will leave the video where I talk in more depth about that up here. I only cried 3 times this time, and it was quite nice seeing it with somebody else because I could sort of talk to them about it afterwards, and I didn't go into it feeling all lonely. It was quite nice being in the same country and the same cinema as my best friend, because, you know, when I watched the film the first time, I was all alone. And yeah, it was fun watching it with someone else. Then I saw last Friday, so this would have normally been in my last Sunday's video, I saw A Simple Favour. I made a book versus movie about this one, book versus movie video about this one. I have a whole playlist of those. I will link that video up here on my thoughts on the book versus the movie, and I will leave my playlist of all the book versus movie videos at the end of the video if you want to check those out, because there's a whole load of them, lots of different genres and lots of different ages of films as well. Just the film itself I thought was really entertaining, although it deals with some heavy topics and some quite interesting and twisted characters. The film is still quite light-hearted in as much as it can be light-hearted when it's talking about somebody going missing and possibly being dead, possibly not. Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively were just like great on screen together. I thought that their like on screen chemistry was just really, really cool, and I really hope that they're in something else together soon. I love Anna Kendrick anyway. I haven't seen a lot of things that Blake Lively's been in. I've not watched any of her Gossip Girl, that was her, right? Gossip Girl stuff. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it kept me really gripped. If you haven't read the book, obviously you won't know the twists and the turns that are coming. And I talked a little bit in my sort of main video about this, but it was cool because the cinema was really quite full, and there were people gasping as well as people laughing, because there were some comedy moments, some of Anna Kendrick's bits and some of Blake Lively's like deadpan comedy is really funny, and I laughed as well, whereas I didn't laugh reading the book at all. But yes, the twists and turns had other people in the cinema gasping, and as I say, it was quite a full cinema, quite an older crowd. I was probably the youngest one in there. It was during the day. So yeah, I think it will have you gasping, and even if you haven't read the book, then I think you will definitely enjoy it. If you have read the book, I think that you will find it lighter than the book. Obviously you will see some of the twists and turns coming. Also, loved Andrew Rannells in this film. His character isn't in the book, so it was like a whole new character for me to enjoy. And I mean, I love him in everything that he does. He's just so funny, and is really funny in this one as well, but also kind of a crucial part to a certain turning point in the storyline as well, which I really, really enjoyed. So yeah, there's some laughter and some tense moments and some twisty moments, a little bit of violence, but it's not too violent in a film. So if you're worried about the fact that the book is a thriller and the film's going to be really violent, it's not super violent, so I wouldn't worry about that. It's quite sexy, and obviously all the actors in it are super hot and super sexy anyway, but yeah, it's sexy, some comedy, and just great on-screen chemistry and really good actors in this one. And then I went to see Peppermint, which I don't know, having a movie pass meant that I ended up seeing lots of different movies that I wouldn't necessarily have gone to see. For example, all the Marvel stuff that I've now gone to see. Only one of the Marvel films I actually saw with my movie pass, but I wouldn't have got into those films had it not been for seeing Avengers Infinity War with movie pass. And I saw the trailer for Peppermint and I was like, yeah, I will go and see this. This looks like a story that has a lot of layers to it and a lot of depth to it. It is a kind of actiony, thrillery type film, and this one is very violent. There is a lot of cold-blooded killing that goes on, a lot of guns, and kind of some quite twisted deaths as well. Twisted seems to be the key word for this video. Again, this is where the actress on the screen really kind of brings the film to life, and again, we've got a little bit of comedy moment in here. It starts off with a killing, so straight away we have that, and then it kind of flashes back to the events that led up to her wanting Peppermint, wanting this revenge. I think the poster is very clever as well. I really like the poster because it doesn't give anything about the film away, but once you've seen the film, the poster makes a lot of sense. There is some police corruption in this, and kind of it does explore to some extent what is wrong with kind of justice sometimes, and justice being served, or justice, you know, even happening in the first place. And for something that's incredibly kind of violent and has a very high death count, the storyline really kept me gripped the whole way through. I wasn't sure which direction we were kind of going in next, or what would be happening next, and it unravels as the film goes on. It feels like reading a really good thriller novel, because there are revelations as we go on and on. You don't get everything to start with. You know that it's revenge driven, but you don't know who and what and how and where and when and why. I might have said one of those twice there, but yeah, it felt like reading a really good thriller novel. And so if you do like sort of action films and thriller type movies with a bit of suspense and a fantastic strong female lead, you will definitely like this one. And then very quickly, just to cover two more of the Marvel films that I had left to see. I think I talked last time about the fact that I was halfway through two of them. So I finished watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It was just really good. I really enjoyed it. The comedy in it is just so good. There is some romance in it. There's awesome music. It's in space. The kind of, I want to say the setting, but the backdrop of where the action is taking place is really good. And it's got some really strong like family message in there as well, about the family not being the family that you're necessarily born with, but being what you make it. And that can be friends, or it can be people who raised you, or it can be people you meet later in life. And I really liked that message as well. It sets up some of the stuff that happens in Avengers Infinity War. It sets up some stuff that's probably going to happen in the next Guardians movie, because I think they are making another one, definitely. I still just love Rocket, and obviously Groot is growing up and is a baby Groot in this one, but is really funny too. The opening of this one with Groot and the other Guardians is just, it's joyful and wonderful and really funny and such a great opening. So yeah, I think I enjoyed that one as much as I thought I was going to. And then I finished watching Doctor Strange. Wasn't a massive fan of that one. This one seems to be the one that's kind of on all of Netflix and Sky and is available for me to borrow in the library and stuff like that. So maybe other people don't enjoy this one as much. Obviously, it's got Benedict Cumberbatch in it, which is nice. But yeah, it does that great thing that all of these Marvel movies have done, in that it highlights different settings. He goes off to Korea, I think, and some of it is set in New York, and you see some of it in London, and yeah, we've got lots of different settings in there, which I think is great. But I found the storyline quite tough to follow. I think a lot of it was very kind of, what's the word, abstract, and a lot of it required the characters giving explanations on the screen, which I don't like necessarily in a movie. I expect that in a book, in a novel, but when it's happening on the screen, I expect stuff to take place, and that's where we get the explanations from, rather than characters having to have big strings of dialogue to explain what's going on. And I think that's probably why, yeah, I didn't like this one quite as much. I thought that the kind of powers that he has were really interesting, and I like the fact they're different from other Marvel characters from the other films that I've seen. I don't like it if characters have too similar powers, because then when they all get together and be Avengers, then how are they going to work together if they have the same powers? Yeah, last time I think I said that Black Panther was probably my least favourite out of the Marvel films that I'd seen so far. That's now been replaced by Doctor Strange. I like Black Panther better than Doctor Strange. I think, yeah, Doctor Strange so far is my least favourite. So I have 3 more Marvel films that I need to watch. I thought I would have watched another of them between last video and this one, but that didn't happen. But that's okay, because I got to talk about other films in this video as well. So yeah, as I said, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Make sure that you are subscribed. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen any of these movies and what your thoughts were on them. As I said, link to the book versus movie playlist will be coming up in the end, and other links have been left up here. All my social media links are linked down below, so make sure you give me a follow. I will have a book video coming up for you tomorrow, and I will have another movie reviews video next Sunday for you, so you can look forward to that one then. I will see you either tomorrow or next Sunday. Bye.